Upon seeing it, it struck me that, well, this explains all the UFO sightings. It never even occurred to me, even though I was looking at an extraterrestrial vehicle, that, this wasn't man-made.
The enigmatic Bob Lazar has finally pulled back the curtain on previously concealed UFO evidence.
I got it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
What the hell?
As intrigue and speculation run rampant, this video delves deep into the revealed evidence, its implications, and the myriad reactions it has sparked. Bob Lazar, the man behind the reveal. Bob Lazar has always been a subject of much discussion and controversy within the UFO community and beyond. His name, etched in the annals of UFO lore, has been synonymous with allegations of governmental cover-ups, advanced propulsion systems, and the mysterious Area 51.
No, what, did you see that move it did?
No, I didn't.
It went like it went boom, boom. Wow, look how bright it's getting. Look at it now.
In understanding the recent disclosure of previously hidden UFO evidence, a closer look at the man himself offers invaluable insights into the weight and context of this revelation. Born in the mid-20th century, Lazar's early life was fairly typical. He showed an intrinsic curiosity about the universe, which paved the way for his future ventures. By the time he completed his formal education, Lazar had developed a profound interest in physics and propulsion systems. This expertise, combined with his intrinsic curiosity, would later set the stage for his controversial involvement with extraterrestrial technology. In the late 1980s, Lazar burst into public consciousness when he claimed to have been employed at a site near Area 51, a top-secret U.S. military installation. This facility, known as S4, was where, according to Lazar, reverse engineering of alien spacecraft was taking place. He alleged that during his tenure there, he worked directly with extraterrestrial technology, trying to understand and replicate the propulsion systems of these advanced vehicles. The intricacies of these propulsion systems, as described by Lazar, were nothing short of revolutionary. He spoke of Element 115, a then undiscovered element that powered the anti-gravity systems of these UFOs. While many in the scientific community scoffed at this claim, it ignited a firestorm of curiosity among UFO enthusiasts and conspiracy theorists. It's worth noting that years later, Element 115, Moscovium, was added to the periodic table, albeit with properties different from what Lazar described. Lazar's revelations were not without consequences. He became the target of intense scrutiny. Critics questioned his educational and professional credentials, his motivations for disclosing such sensitive information, and the veracity of his claims. Despite the criticism, his detailed descriptions of the spacecraft, its mode of operation, and the infrastructure at S4 were compelling enough to keep his story alive and debated for decades. Over the years, Lazar maintained a relatively low profile, occasionally resurfacing to provide clarifications, interviews, or additional details about his experiences. Yet, with this recent disclosure of hidden UFO evidence, he has once again catapulted into the limelight, prompting both longtime followers and new generations to reassess the depth and validity of his claims. Why now? What motivated Lazar to unveil evidence that had presumably been kept under wraps for so long? Some argue it's a matter of timing, suggesting that the global environment is more receptive to the idea of extraterrestrial encounters. Others surmise that Lazar, after years of introspection, felt a moral obligation to share the truth with the world. But perhaps one of the most poignant aspects of Bob Lazar's story is the personal toll it has taken on him. He has spoken on multiple occasions about the challenges of carrying such a profound secret, the isolation from mainstream scientific communities, and the skepticism he faced from friends, family, and colleagues. In many ways, the essence of Bob Lazar is reflected in the dichotomy of his experiences. Here is a man who, on one hand, claims to have interacted with some of the most advanced technologies ever known, yet, on the other, grapples with the very human emotions of doubt, isolation, and the relentless pursuit of truth. As the world now digests the newly revealed UFO evidence, it is essential to remember the man behind the reveal, a complex individual caught at the intersection of curiosity, revelation, and controversy. The previously hidden evidence, an analysis. For years, the UFO community and the general public have been eagerly waiting for tangible evidence that could corroborate claims of extraterrestrial encounters. Bob Lazar's recent disclosure has added a significant chapter to this narrative. This analysis seeks to dive deep into the details of the evidence he presented and unpack its implications. Lazar unveiled a series of photographs and video footage. These visuals, markedly clearer than most previous UFO sightings, depict unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP, performing maneuvers that seem to defy our current understanding of physics. The craft showcased in these materials exhibited no visible means of propulsion, yet they moved with unprecedented speed and agility, stopping midair and changing directions instantaneously. Of particular interest is the metallic sheen of the objects, reminiscent of Lazar's descriptions from decades ago. Could this be the same anti-gravitational technology powered by element 115 that he once spoke of? The clarity of these images and videos offers researchers an unprecedented opportunity to study the physical characteristics of these UAPs in detail. Perhaps even more compelling than the visual evidence are the material samples Lazar provided. Said to be fragments from a crashed UFO, these materials display anomalous properties. Preliminary studies suggest that they are made up of a unique alloy, unlike anything found on Earth. When subjected to specific electromagnetic frequencies, these fragments levitate, seemingly validating Lazar's claims about anti-gravity technology. Accompanying the tangible evidence were a series of documents and recorded testimonies. These video purportedly leaked from high-level governmental sources hint at covert operations and studies related to extraterrestrial technology. Several anonymous testimonies from individuals claiming to have worked at facilities similar to S4 corroborate Lazar's stories. While the authenticity of these documents is still under scrutiny, their level of detail and consistency with Lazar's accounts lends them considerable weight. A set of audio recordings provided sounds that are believed to be interactions between military personnel and the UAPs. These recordings, if authentic, provide insights into how these encounters were handled at the operational level. Distinct commands, observations, and expressions of astonishment can be heard, capturing the tension and awe of such unprecedented encounters. If validated, Lazar's disclosure challenges much of what we understand about technology, physics, and our place in the universe. The revealed technology's potential implications are vast, from revolutionizing transportation and energy sectors on Earth to potentially unlocking interstellar travel. However, the disclosure also raises concerns. If governments have indeed been privy to such groundbreaking technology, their secrecy suggests potential geopolitical ramifications. The technological edge that comes from understanding and possibly replicating UFO tech could be a game-changer in global dynamics. As with any such revelation, skepticism is warranted. Many in the scientific community are calling for an independent, transparent investigation into the presented evidence. They argue that while the material and visual evidence is compelling, it is crucial to ensure that they haven't been tampered with or misrepresented. Furthermore, there's the challenge of separating the genuine from the noise. Given the interest that this disclosure has generated, there's a risk of misinformation and fake claims flooding the public domain. Distinguishing authentic evidence from potential hoaxes will be an uphill task. Bob Lazar's disclosure of previously hidden UFO evidence offers tantalizing possibilities. If genuine, humanity might be on the brink of a new era of understanding about ourselves, our technology, and perhaps our neighbors in the cosmos. The evidence demands rigorous scrutiny and open-minded investigation, ensuring that truth, whatever it might be, comes to light. Technological insights, what the UFO shows. Bob Lazar's long-anticipated reveal of hidden UFO evidence provides more than just fodder for extraterrestrial enthusiasts. It offers a glimpse into technologies that, if understood, could redefine our scientific paradigms. Delving into the details, we can attempt to infer the technological marvels encapsulated within the unidentified flying objects he presented. The most immediate and noticeable attribute of the disclosed UFOs is their propulsion system, or more precisely, the apparent lack of one. Traditional aircraft rely on aerodynamic principles, using wings for lift and engines for thrust. In stark contrast, the UFOs in Lazar's evidence move without wings, exhausts, or any visible propulsion mechanism. Their ability to hover, accelerate from a standstill to high speeds, and make sharp turns defies our current aerodynamic understanding. This suggests a technology that can manipulate gravitational forces, essentially making the crafts weightless and allowing for movement in any direction without resistance. Lazar's earlier claims about element 115 inches powering these UFOs' anti-gravity systems may provide a clue. If indeed these crafts employ a propulsion system based on a yet-to-be-understood application of element 115, we're looking at a complete overhaul of propulsion science. Such technology would not only revolutionize aerospace, but could also have applications here on Earth, possibly leading to transportation methods that are faster, more efficient, and environmentally benign. The surface of the UFOs with their metallic sheen hints at advanced material science. They might be constructed from alloys that are not only structurally robust, but perhaps possess adaptive qualities. These materials could potentially react to external stimuli, changing their properties based on environmental conditions or the needs of the craft. For instance, they might become more reflective when exposed to intense heat or radiation, or shift their structure to become more aerodynamic when required. The UFO's seamless design suggests a level of manufacturing precision that is yet unattained in our current technological landscape. There's an absence of rivets, joints, or any signs of assembly. It's as if each craft is made from a single continuous material. This might indicate advanced fabrication techniques, perhaps on an atomic or molecular level, where materials are grown rather than assembled. Communication and control mechanisms are another area of intrigue. There's no evidence of antennas, satellite dishes, or any traditional communication apparatus on these crafts. Yet, they seemingly operate with intent and purpose, suggesting advanced onboard intelligence or remote communication capability. This might point towards quantum communication methods or other non-localized means of transmitting information, which, when decoded, could change our understanding of information transfer and possibly render our current communication systems obsolete. Internally, the power source of these crafts remains one of the greatest mysteries. Traditional energy sources like fossil fuels, nuclear reactors, or even our most advanced batteries seem unlikely candidates. The craft's operations are silent, without any emissions or heat signatures. This might allude to a form of energy that's clean and incredibly efficient. Harnessing such an energy source could be the solution to our planet's growing energy needs and environmental concerns. Lastly, the UFO's ability to seemingly appear and disappear hints at dimensional or cloaking technology. While this is highly speculative, the idea that these crafts can phase in and out of detectability suggests technological advancements that challenge our understanding of space-time itself. The technological insights provided by Lazar's UFO evidence present a cornucopia of possibilities. These crafts, if genuine, encapsulate advancements that could drive multiple revolutions across various scientific and technological fields. The task ahead for the scientific community is monumental: to decode, understand, and hopefully harness the marvels that these UFOs present. Comparative analysis, past and present UFO claims. Over the years, countless claims of unidentified flying object UFO sightings and encounters have graced both the annals of conspiracy theories and the databases of legitimate scientific inquiry. Bob Lazar's recent disclosure provides a unique opportunity to juxtapose past claims with the current revelation, allowing for a broader understanding of the phenomenon. In the early to mid-20th century, UFO sightings were largely anecdotal. Individuals often reported seeing strange lights in the sky, flying saucers, or cigar-shaped objects. These accounts were usually characterized by fleeting visuals, captured more in memory than on film. Such reports, while widespread, were difficult to verify due to the lack of tangible evidence. Most were dismissed as misidentifications of natural phenomena, aircraft or satellites, while others were attributed to overactive imaginations or hoaxes. However, certain past events stood out, such as the famous Roswell incident of 1947. An unidentified object crashed near Roswell, New Mexico, leading to widespread speculation about alien spacecraft and governmental cover-ups. Though officially dismissed as a weather balloon accident, Roswell remains a cornerstone of UFO folklore, reinforced by testimonies from individuals claiming to have seen extraterrestrial bodies and wreckage. Then there's the Rendlesham Forest incident of 1980 in the UK. Military personnel reported an encounter with an unknown craft, accompanied by physical evidence in the form of ground impressions and radiation readings. This incident remains one of the most well-documented UFO events, with multiple corroborating eyewitness accounts. Comparing these historical accounts with Lazar's recent disclosure, several points of convergence and divergence arise. The first notable aspect is the quality of evidence. While earlier claims were backed primarily by eyewitness testimonies and occasional blurry photographs, Lazar's revelation boasts clear images, videos, material samples, and corroborating documents. This progression could be attributed to advancements in technology, making capturing and preserving evidence easier, or it might indicate a more significant shift in the intentions of those behind the UFO phenomena, should they be of extraterrestrial origin. Another striking difference lies in the narrative surrounding the UFO claims. Earlier sightings were often isolated incidents, with limited continuity between separate events. With Lazar's disclosure, there seems to be a broader storyline, a narrative that speaks of consistent technology, intentions, and potential interactions. The UFOs in his evidence bear similarities in design and function, suggesting a common origin or purpose. On the other hand, the nature of the UFO's movements across time has remained consistent. Accounts from decades ago, much like those presented by Lazar, describe aerial maneuvers that challenge our understanding of physics. The ability to hover, instant acceleration, and sharp turns without apparent inertia are hallmarks of both past and present claims. However, Lazar's revelation provides a more profound depth in technological understanding. Where past claims offered speculations on propulsion or energy sources, Lazar delves into specifics, suggesting potential mechanisms like element 115 and unique alloys. This level of detail, absent in many past claims, offers richer grounds for scientific investigation. The human reaction to these claims, though evolving, retains core similarities. Skepticism, awe, fear, and curiosity have been constant companions of UFO disclosures, from Roswell to today. However, with the mounting pile of evidence and the progression of technology validating certain aspects of these claims, contemporary society may be inching closer to a more open acceptance, or at least a more profound consideration of the UFO phenomenon. When Lazar's disclosure is placed within the historical continuum of UFO claims, it represents both a culmination of past narratives and a groundbreaking new chapter. While the core elements of mystery, wonder, and skepticism remain, the depth, clarity, and coherence of the present claims set them apart, nudging the world closer to potential answers about these enigmatic visitors, the skeptic's perspective debunking the evidence. While Bob Lazar's revelation has captivated many and bolstered the beliefs of UFO enthusiasts worldwide, it has equally drawn sharp criticism and skepticism from various quarters. The skeptic's lens, crucial in any scientific inquiry, attempts to probe, validate, and, if necessary, debunk the presented evidence. Here's an exploration of the primary counterarguments that challenge Lazar's claims. In an age where digital technology can create hyper-realistic imagery, many skeptics argue that the photographs and videos presented by Lazar could be the result of sophisticated manipulation. Software advancements in visual effects and computer-generated imagery, CGI, have reached levels where distinguishing between reality and fabrication becomes exceedingly difficult. Without access to the original raw files and a comprehensive forensic analysis, the authenticity of the visual evidence remains questionable. Lazar's claim about the use of element 115 as a propulsion source for the UFOs has raised eyebrows in the scientific community. While element 115, or moscovium, is a real element, its known properties don't support the claims made. It's highly unstable with a brief half-life, making it an unlikely candidate for a sustainable propulsion system. Additionally, synthesizing it in significant quantities is currently beyond our technological grasp. Though the provided material samples are intriguing, skeptics argue that their origin and properties need rigorous independent verification. Without a transparent chain of custody and a clear understanding of their provenance, these samples could originate from various terrestrial sources. Claims about their levitation under specific conditions could also be results of controlled manipulations or misinterpretations. The leaked documents and testimonies, while sensational, are not beyond reproach. Historically, many supposed classified documents about UFOs have turned out to be hoaxes or misinterpretations. The anonymous nature of some testimonies further muddies the waters. Authenticating these documents and verifying the credentials of the testifiers are essential steps before taking these evidences at face value. Human psychology plays a significant role in UFO sightings and claims. Confirmation bias, where individuals interpret information in a way that confirms their pre-existing beliefs, can be a potent factor. Moreover, optical illusions, atmospheric phenomena, and even conventional aircraft can sometimes be misidentified as UFOs, especially when observed under unusual lighting or from specific angles. One would expect that with the frequent visits of these technologically advanced UFOs, astronomers and space agencies would have detected or observed some corroborating evidence by now. The vast network of telescopes, satellites, and space observatories constantly scanning the skies has so far provided no independent verification of the UFO phenomena at the scale suggested by Lazar. Historically, many UFO claims, even those that initially appeared robust, have been debunked over time. From misidentified weather balloons to misunderstood natural phenomena, there's a long track record of UFO claims that, under scrutiny, turned out to have mundane explanations. Skeptics argue that Lazar's claims could similarly be debunked as more information comes to light. While Lazar's evidence adds a compelling chapter to the UFO narrative, it's crucial to approach it with a balanced perspective. Skepticism, rooted not in disbelief but in the pursuit of truth, ensures that claims are rigorously tested and validated. Only through such scrutiny can the reality of the UFO phenomena, whatever it may be genuinely understood. The world's reaction, from believers to skeptics. When Bob Lazar unveiled his much-anticipated evidence of UFOs, the world was forced to sit up and take notice. The revelation, which had the potential to upend our understanding of our place in the universe, elicited a myriad of reactions. From firm believers to ardent skeptics, everyone had an opinion. Here's a panorama of the world's diverse responses. The believers who had long awaited such a disclosure felt vindicated. For them, Lazar's revelation was not just evidence, but confirmation of what they had believed for years, that we are not alone in the universe. Social media platforms exploded with excitement, with many sharing their own stories of sightings and encounters. UFO enthusiast groups saw an uptick in membership, and forums were abuzz with discussions dissecting every piece of evidence provided. Scientists and researchers, always in pursuit of the truth, approached the disclosure with a mix of curiosity and caution. Many called for a rigorous and transparent examination of the evidence, emphasizing the importance of peer review. Conferences, symposiums, and workshops were organized to discuss the implications of the evidence. If authenticated, the potential technological advancements inferred from the UFOs could open new avenues of research in fields like propulsion, energy, and material science. However, not everyone in the scientific community was as open to the revelation. Some scientists pointed to the history of UFO claims that were eventually debunked. For them, Lazar's evidence, however compelling, was just another chapter in the long saga of unproven assertions. They called for skepticism and warned against getting carried away by the sensationalism surrounding the disclosure. The general public's reaction was varied. For many, the revelation was a source of wonder and amazement, an affirmation of the age-old question of extraterrestrial life. Families gathered around television sets to watch specials and documentaries on the subject, and schools introduced discussions about UFOs and space exploration into their curriculum. Religious institutions and leaders around the world also weighed in. While some religious groups saw the evidence as challenging their scriptures and beliefs, others embraced it, interpreting the potential existence of extraterrestrial life as part of the divine plan. Debates about theology, the nature of God, and humanity's role in the universe became common in religious congregations. Governments and world leaders found themselves in a precarious position. The revelation demanded an official stance. While some governments acknowledged the evidence and called for international cooperation to understand the phenomenon better, others remained silent or dismissive. Conspiracy theories about governmental cover-ups, long associated with the UFO phenomenon, saw a resurgence, with many questioning the role of authorities in withholding or manipulating information about extraterrestrial encounters. The entertainment industry capitalized on the global interest. Movies, documentaries, and TV shows exploring the idea of UFOs and extraterrestrial life became immensely popular. Bookstores were filled with literature on the subject, ranging from scientific analyses to fictional tales of interstellar adventures. Yet, amid all the noise and excitement, there were those who remained indifferent. For a segment of the population, the disclosure, while interesting, did not impact their daily lives. They went about their routines, considering the UFO revelation as just another piece of news in an ever-churning cycle. Bob Lazar's disclosure became a mirror, reflecting the diverse beliefs, hopes, fears, and curiosities of humanity. It rekindled age-old debates about our existence and the mysteries of the universe, forcing the world to confront the vastness of the unknown and our place within it. The impact on science and aerospace research. Bob Lazar's disclosure, accompanied by its intricate web of claims, visuals, and purported technological marvels, set off a chain reaction in the world of science and aerospace research. The revelation, if authenticated, held the promise of upending several scientific paradigms and igniting a new era of aerospace innovation. Here's an examination of the ripple effects this disclosure had on various research spheres. Central to Lazar's claims was the alleged propulsion system of the UFOs, hinting at technologies and energy sources that, according to contemporary understanding, seemed next to impossible. Researchers were suddenly faced with the daunting task of reconciling observed UFO behaviors with existing laws of physics. This led to a renewed focus on areas like quantum mechanics, gravitation, and even the controversial field of anti-gravity research. Some theoretical physicists began reconsidering postulations around dark matter and dark energy, pondering if these cosmic enigmas might offer clues to the UFO propulsion riddle. The material samples touted by Lazar provided tantalizing hints of advanced metallurgical processes and potentially unknown elements or compounds. Laboratories around the world scrambled to analyze these samples, eager to uncover their secrets. If authentic, these materials promised to revolutionize industries far beyond aerospace, with potential applications in electronics, energy storage, and even medicine. The aerospace sector witnessed a resurgence of interest and investment. If the UFOs operated on principles yet unknown to us, then mastering these principles could lead to quantum leaps in aircraft and spacecraft design. Traditional propulsion systems reliant on chemical fuels might soon become obsolete, replaced by more efficient, sustainable, and perhaps even faster modes of transportation. The potential existence of technologically advanced extraterrestrial civilizations breathed new life into space exploration programs. If humans could comprehend and replicate the technology behind the UFOs, interstellar travel might shift from science fiction to reality. Plans to colonize other planets or moons, previously seen as distant goals, suddenly seemed achievable in the foreseeable future. This led to increased funding and interest in space agencies like NASA, ESA, and private entities like SpaceX and Blue Origin. While the potential advancements were exhilarating, they also ushered in waves of debates and challenges. How does one validate the claims made by Lazar, especially when they seemingly defied established scientific understanding? Peer review processes became more critical than ever. Skepticism surged in parallel with excitement, leading to polarized views within research communities. Some researchers even faced ethical dilemmas, torn between their desire to explore the new frontiers opened by the disclosure and their duty to uphold rigorous scientific standards. One positive outcome of the disclosure was the increased collaboration between nations and research institutions. Recognizing the magnitude of the potential breakthroughs at hand, many countries initiated joint research programs, pooling resources and expertise. This spirit of cooperation signaled a shift from isolated, competitive research to a more unified, collective quest for understanding. Bob Lazar's disclosure, regardless of its eventual validation, undeniably jolted the scientific and aerospace landscapes. It forced experts to question, reconsider, and even reinvent their fields of study. While the journey to deciphering the full truth behind the claims was fraught with challenges and debates, it undeniably propelled humanity a step closer to understanding the vast, mysterious cosmos that surrounds us.